A bright African good afternoon to you. Always, always, always. Welcome to the studio. Today we're still in the month of February. We're still celebrating Black History Month. And Black History Month is that time when we celebrate our Black authors, moms and daughters and sons, adults and kids. And we just take the space to celebrate ourselves, to showcase and spotlight our authors. And today we're spotlighting and celebrating a very phenomenal mom author. Um, um, who has two young authors at home and who, in spite of her many full-time jobs, finds the time to write a book and to publish. And not just that, she publishes twice this month. And so she's joining us in the studio with her young authors and her studio guest, another GloBUNTU mom who's very close to me. And so we will be having a conversation. So if you're joining us on Facebook, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And the comment box is all yours to join the conversation. My name is Amkrita Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author and the proud publisher of this book that we're about to launch today. So without further ado, I'm going to let in my guest and let's get the party going. Good afternoon, girls. Good afternoon, moms. Good afternoon, authors. Good afternoon, friends.
Good afternoon, Beatrice. Good afternoon, Grace.
Good afternoon.
So, Arthur, you're looking pretty. Make sure that you settle because your picture, your image is shaking. Make sure that you settle. That's looking much better. So, if you can just find a space where you don't, where you're settled, that would be nice. I see the young authors, the Lekalakala young authors are coming in. Please, those of you joining us out there, bear with us. It's raining cats and dogs in our district right now. So the network may be a little bit unstable. If that happens, please bear with us. Otherwise, we're here to share some juicy content with you, have some really uplifting conversations with moms and young authors and GloBUNTU books. That's how we do it. So let's go to our author and get her to introduce her studio guest before we get the party started. Is our author ready? Are you settled, Mom? I know you're trying to find a quiet place where there's light and where you have enough connectability. So, and you're here.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me or see me?
Yes, I hear you. You're tuning in now. We're launching your book. And you are the first GloBUNTU Books mom to finish her book. The first GloBUNTU Books mom to finish a book. So kudos, congratulations, celebrations. We are all very proud of you. So welcome to the studio. How are you feeling today?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to you, Mulatelo, and our host, Sister B. I feel so very thankful today to be in this studio and very proud of myself.
So before we get started, I would like to give you the space to introduce your studio guest. You have two joining you. So whom do you want to pass the mic to first to introduce herself? This is a girl studio today. Wow, I love it.
I didn't hear you very well.
So who of your guests, who is going to be the first to introduce herself?
Okay. My guest is Mulatelo Shikwani and Mpai Lekalakala and Tshepang Lekalakala.
Okay, we're trying to get in Tshepang Lekalakala. So I would think that, do we let Mulatelo introduce herself as first?
Yes.
So, Ma'am Mulatelo, please take it away and introduce yourself. You wrote a preface to this book. You wrote a preface to this book. I want to kind of drop that before you introduce yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody from wherever you are watching from. My name is Mulatelo Shikwane, and I'm a friend to the author and publisher, Beatrice Achaleke, and Grace Lekalakala. We are family. We come from the same village, married into the same family, and I wrote the preface to the book. So, yeah, I think we are going to have a fascinating conversation about the book that she wrote. And I believe it will resonate with most of us who are watching here. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and the privilege to have written the preface to this masterpiece of a book. Thank you.
You forgot to mention that you're also a GloBUNTU Books co-author, right? We are all
It's
right.
not about me. It's not about me today. Okay, what I can say is that I am a mom to the first GloBUNTU award-winning young author. That is
Yes.
something that I'm proud of.
And so
Thank
we are
you.
going to take it further to the other award-winning authors who are here today to celebrate their mom, who followed their footsteps to write a book. So let's go with the eldest Mpai. Mpai, can you introduce yourself and tell us why you're here today?
Unmute, Mpai. Mpai, unmute yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
As I was saying, my name is Lekalakala, and I am a GloBUNTU young author, also an award-winning author. Grace Lekalakala is my mom, and today we are here to celebrate her book. Thank
Nice.
you.
So you are most welcome. Thank you for joining to celebrate your mom. Let's go to another award-winning GloBUNTU young author, another Lekalakala, the youngest in the family. Tsepang, can you kindly introduce yourself and tell us why you're here today?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tapang Lekalakala, and I'm also a GloBUNTU young author. I'm here to celebrate my mom's book launch. Yeah.
Nice. So with that, we're done with the studio rounds. Let's go to the author. So, Grace, you are the phenomenal, proud author of the book that we're launching today. My crazy journey to my crazy journey to success. The title
Yes,
says it all. So, what is it? You are a mom of two authors.
yes.
Does being a mom of two authors did it influence you wanting to become an author also?
Can you please repeat your question? I didn't hear you well.
Okay, so we're having it's raining outside, so we have a problem with the sound. What
Yeah.
influenced you to become an author?
Yeah. When you were introduced to us by Mulatelo and telling us that you are an author, that thing on its own, it made me think that, wow, for me, I think the authors, I take them like celebrities. And after that, when I saw my kids wrote their books and winning awards, and then I was telling myself that, wow, I'm not going to be left out. I must follow their steps. Actually, I was motivated by Shehofato, Mulatelo's girl, and then my two daughters. So those ones, they made me to write my own book. I just thought that being a teacher, I cannot be left out. These kids cannot, I cannot be left out. I must be part of the authors because my two kids, my two daughters, and my niece, they've already published, they have already wrote theirs and published. So I have to be part also.
Oh, that's it. So our kids can be a real source of inspiration to us. I'm very proud of you because again, you have so many full-time jobs. You are a mom of four girls. You are a teacher with other extracurricular responsibilities. You are a wife. And then you're writing a book. There's just so many things that you do. So
Oh
if
my
someone is
goodness.
wondering, how do I find the time to write a book? Where did you find the time to write your book?
Hmm. I can no more hear you, Auntie B. I don't know whether it's a network or what because it's now heavily raining. Can you
Yeah,
hear
it's
me?
raining very hard. Oh my God. Rain and thunder. Just talk to us about your book. Where did you find the time to write your book? Mpai, while we're waiting for your mom, Mpai, can you hear me? Mpai, do you hear me?
Hmm.
So let's go to Molatelo while we wait for the Lekalakalas to reconnect. It looks like the
Auntie,
network is
yes, I
not
can
good.
hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, so you are an author and your mom is now an author. So what does it mean like to be in the family of girls who are authors? Big girls and small and young girls. Mpai, can you hear me? Okay, I'll go to Molatelo. Molatelo, the weather is really bad because it's raining. I don't know whether it's raining your side as well. So you wrote a preface to this book. What is your take on the book, on Grace's crazy journey to success?
It was when I first got the manuscript,
Yes,
because I had
Auntie.
to write the preface, I had to read it first to get the sense of what the book was about. And I found it like her journey resonated with me. And I found I could see myself and I could see people that we grew up with, because we are a generation of people that grew up during the time when families were poor. We come from the rural part of our country, and the story resonated with me, and I realized that, you know, Grace took it was courageous of her to go back in time and remember where she's coming from, and acknowledging all the challenges that she has been through, and celebrating where she is today. So that's the sense that I got from the book, that it doesn't matter where you started, but where you are at this particular moment, and the step that you took to ensure that you can have your own kind of success. And I realized that success is something that differs from person to person. Grace here is telling us about what success means to her, where she's from and where she is today. And I found the story fascinating.
I did too. Thank you for bringing in those aspects. Sometimes, it takes when someone writes, listening to you bring out those aspects. It's just like when you read a book, you pick the things that resonate with you, and you kind of, and it's always good when you hear someone else who has read the book bring in some of the aspects that resonated with them. So I really appreciate those angles. Let's see, is our author here? Can you hear me, author Grace?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so let's go to your book. Um, what is the message? What is the key message that you're trying to pass on to through your book, and who is the message addressed to?
My book is all about to encourage those people who are still struggling to find job, and also the way I grew up, to say even if you are from an disadvantaged background, it's not the end of the road. You have to work hard to achieve all the things that you want to achieve.
Get you. So you are a teacher. You mentioned before, and you are a mom of four smart kids, and each one of them smart in their capacity. You wake up every day to go to school to teach other
Yeah.
kids. So and I see that you have a lot of other extracurricular responsibilities. Where do you find the time to write a book? in the midst of all of that?
I am somebody who don't want to fail in life. So I just try my level best to manage my time accordingly so that I can slot each and everything that I am doing. Like when I come back from work, I make sure that I prepare my kids for dinner and so forth. And then after that, I have time for writing or for reading or maybe also helping my kids with their homeworks and the like. So sometimes during even weekends, I don't have time for weekends. I have to make sure that my diary is well organized and do whatever I am left to do during the weekend.
I get you. I get you. And I think I have a little idea of how your agenda looks like. I know how busy you are. And again, have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a book, or did it just come because you saw your kids, because you got introduced to a writing space that you like, oh, I want to write a book? Or is it something that has always been there for you?
No, it it was not my thought of writing to be an author one day. But after seeing my kids did and also knowing you that you are an author, then that made me to say, okay, I must be the author also. I must follow your footsteps.
And following you did at a very, very high speed. So congratulations. Bye.
Thank you.
When your mom set out to write a book, she did after you have published. What kind of support did you give your mom when she was writing her book? Unmute yourself, Mpai, if you can hear me.
I would say that we encourage her that she can do it. Plus, if she really wanted to, I know my mom is a go-getter, so she was gonna do it in anyways. Plus, also my grandma, like the whole family encouraged her to do what she feels like doing. We always have go-getters in our families. We have successful people. So I'm very proud of my mom as she finished writing this book and now it's published and now people can buy it and read it.
Okay, I can see that Sepang is struggling to come in. I can't go to WhatsApp to take care of her right now because we're in the studio. So I hope that she will come in. Otherwise, if you can't, you two just have to represent her in the studio, and I know you can do that because hey, you are go-getters, right? So, to Mulatelo, you are surrounded by writers, and you write yourself quite a lot. Besides being a co-author to the Letters to series, which Grace is as well. Um, Being around a young author and writing yourself, what do you think are some of the challenges that a lot of moms, especially working moms, face when it comes to wanting to write a book? That Grace overcome and that moms can learn from.
Ooh, where do I begin? Writing is not an easy thing. I know that Grace did it, her daughters did it. You are a serial author yourself, but for me, I don't think it's easy. And okay, for my daughter, I think that's what she always tells me that time, Mom, there's nothing to writing. But for me, I think because I work in the knowledge creation space, I write professionally. But writing a book, I've realized with the Letters to series that it's totally different from writing professionally. But when you write a book, depending on the subject, it's a personal thing, which forces you to look in areas. And that's what I said earlier that Grace is courageous because she was able to go back in time. and just narrate her experiences. So it differs, I guess, from person to person. For me, even though I wrote to the Letters to series, it was not easy, but when you set your mind to do something, I guess you can. And to anyone out there who would like to really do it, tell yourself, psych yourself up to say, I want to do this and I can, because there are examples that we see in you, in our daughters, in Grace. I think it's encouraging to see that people can just, you jump in, you don't plan, because planning, you have a lot of procrastinating. I started a long time ago because I procrastinated, and maybe because of the fear of going into areas of my life that I don't think I've dealt with them. That's, I think that is what is holding me back. But once I started with the Letters to series, I find it liberating in a way. So anyone who wants to do it, you can. Just tell yourself that this is what I want to do and make time. Grace made time for it, even in her busy schedule of being a teacher in school, working with kids the whole day, coming back to 4 kids as well, and a husband, being a wife, looking after the family. But she found time to go back in time and give us the book that we are going to read and get to know her and the journey that she took. So it's possible, even though not easy, but people have done it before us. Those are the pathfinders, so we can follow in the footsteps of people that have started before and tell our stories, tell our truth, because who else is going to know us? And like my daughter said, it's a legacy that you leave behind. It's the evidence to the future that we lived, that Grace lived. The future will know that there was a lady named Grace Lekalakala, a teacher, that went through this. So it's a good thing to write, I can say.
Thank you so much. I see the youngest Lekalakala award-winning author is here. Sepang, what is it that you like to tell your mom because as she joins you in the ranks of GloBUNTU authors? What is the message that you want to share with your mom? Please unmute.
I will tell her that I'm very proud of her, very proud. She must continue with what she's doing. It can take her to very big places.
Okay. So, and when
I
you guys
cannot
sit,
hear what Sepang is here.
she's very proud of you. You must continue what you're doing because it will take you to greater places.
Okay, thank you. I will.
So, Tsepang, when you sit around, I mean, you're now 3 authors in your house. What kind of conversations do you have amongst yourselves as authors? Did you read one another's book?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Like at the end.
Mpai, have you read your mom's book?
Yes, I did, and it's quite fun and inspiring. Now I know the steps that my mom took to her success and where she came from till now, what happened in her life, how she grew up. Now I know a lot more about my mom.
And that's the magic about writing books, right? Because sometimes you don't get to tell your family, your children, your parents where you've been to. You're too busy every day. And when you take time to write, you actually, that's another way of telling them where you come from and who you are. So, what is it that you've learned about your mom now that you did not know before? And how does that make you feel about your mom?
I learned a lot about her childhood, a lot of things she has experienced when she was still a little child.
Zepang, when you speak, please speak a little bit louder so we can hear you. Okay.
I said I have learned a lot of things about my mom, what she has gone through childhood, the things that I haven't even known, that I don't even know.
And so, to those of you who are joining us online, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The comment box is all yours to join the conversation in the studio. We are talking about mom authors, moms of award-winning young authors becoming moms as well. We're talking about GloBUNTU authors. This is Black History Month. This is the GloBUNTU Books Book Launch Studio, and the conversations are always very open. So feel invited. Are you an author out there? Are you sitting on your story and you're wondering, how do I get started? Where do I get started? And how do I get it done? We have authors here in the studio, so this may be your chance. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to comment, to tell us where you're from, and just be part of the conversation. That said, I am going back to the studio. So, Grace, the phenomenal author, when you hear your children talk about you now, then probably look at you. Do you think they look at you now through different eyes? And what does that tell you about the importance of writing your story? You're muted, sister. Please unmute.
Yeah, I think now they just looking at me as a mom and also an author. And um, the other thing is that they now know where I am coming from because they've already started reading my book. And then I'm happy because my kids will know me, how I grew up, who I am, my background from home. And then even now, even if I am where I am today, they will know that it's not like it was easy for our mom to be where she is today, but it's because of her hard work.
Mhm. What is it that you wanted? What is the message that you like to pass to your children after having written that book?
I just want them to know that things don't come easy. You must just work hard. Whether you have challenges or not, you must tell yourself that these are just the challenges of life. I will just pass them. And in the book, I explain how to go through challenges and how to overcome them also. So if they can just read and know and have that what I wrote in the book, they will know how to deal with each and every challenge that they come across in life. So this is the lesson that I'm leaving behind my kids, my grandchildren, and so forth, and the generation that will come.
You're not leaving anything behind yet. You're still here. This is the message that you're putting out.
But
I would
but we
say
all know that one day is one day we are leaving this planet Earth. I'm
you will,
just
but
saying
that day
that.
is still. So, Mola Taylor, you grew up in apartheid South Africa, you and Grace, and our children today who are authors as well, they do not know that part of South Africa. They know a different kind of South Africa, even though it has its own challenges, but they did not go through that time. How important do you think it is that the generation that went through and that saw the transition, what role do you think they have to play when it comes to letting our children really know the history of where we come from as people, and especially the history of South Africa, and you, their moms, their parents?
I think it's important for them to know because history, it's even though it's taught in schools today, it is not the history that we know. For example, even in schools today, our kids are still learning European history. They are still learning about World War II. They are still learning about World War One. But what is important for our country, you don't find it in history books. So I think what we have as Black people is the gift of storytelling, and sometimes the stories that we tell our kids are mirrored by what we went through as a people. But I think the idea of writing the books, it tells what we want through, even though you are writing from a personal point of view, but the reader can, because when you are going back in time, you are taking the reader from a particular period in the time of our country to where we are, and the struggles that we went through to where we are today. So they get a sense of a different South Africa that they are living in. For example, most of us, we did not live with our parents because they were migrant workers. They were living here in Gauteng. We were left back home with grandparents. So I think the benefit for our children today is that they know us better. They live with us, but we don't know our parents, some of us, because you see them maybe after 3 months when they visit for a weekend and they go back. So you grow up to be a woman without having an interaction with your mom. It's someone that goes to work, comes back and provide. So the difference today is that we, the generation that came out of that particular time in our history, raises our own children. Because I think mostly because we did not get the raising, because our parents were working for, like, for example, my mom was a domestic worker and she had to be here, look after some people's kids after leaving hers behind. So those are the difference. And I think writing about these things shows our children what life was and what informs some of the decisions as we parent. So what informs them because of where we come from. So what Grace did in writing gives an idea of a different environment to her kids. When they read, it's like, wow, mom, did you go through all that? It doesn't make sense because of where they are, but it is her truth. That's where she has been, and they can look at the then and the now, and it's a teaching moment. That's what I can say.
Very powerful, incredibly powerful. Grace, as an author, you are a mom of 4 girls. So now, going back to your childhood, how you grew up, how you were parented, how does that influence the way you parent your 4 girls today? Would you say, coming out from the area of apartheid?
I didn't hear you.
As I was just going from what Molatelo said, you grew up in the rural areas with your mom, and you quite moved into different places. You saw your mom go job searching. You yourself started working at a very young age, probably at the age that your children are now and are going to school. So, what does that experience coming from that time and from that space? How is that influencing the way you parent your girls today?
Oh. I think for now, because I know how it feels to grow in a poverty background, I'm going to make sure that my kids don't go the route I went, because one thing for sure, I will make sure that they go to school, and then so that they can be able to work for themselves. Don't depend on other people or whatever, because myself, I didn't got the time to, or the privilege to go to school without being held by other people. So with my kids, I will make sure that they don't they are not the same, they are not the same as they not grow the same as I grew.
Mm-hmm. Mpai,
I had
when
to
you
depend on my fiance for fees of school, because remember in my book I wrote about uh, I wrote about apartheid era, whereby even the funding was only given to white, so we didn't have that privilege. But this ones, I will make sure that they have funds to go to school. I will try, even though I'm not saying I'm having much, but whatever the little that I will have, I will try my level best to make them to go to school so that they don't have to depend on other people for funding or whatever.
I was going to, that's very powerful coming from a mom saying the experience that I had, the kind of life that I had as a child hasn't got to be the reality of my children. On the contrary, it is my responsibility coming from that space to ensure that my kids have it much better. What a better way to parent kids. Mpai, when you hear your mom speak and you've read her book and saw some of the crazy ways that she had to go through, working at a very young age and getting a job and being kicked out in the night by her employer after just one night and going all the way to the village to find a job. And when you hear all of that and her saying she doesn't want you to go through that path, what does that mean to you and your sisters? On mute, please.
Auntie, I don't understand your question, so can you please explain it in a better way?
Sure, I'll try. So, did you hear what your mom said? Did you hear what your mom said? And you've read her book and you've seen that when she was very young, she had to go looking for jobs, and sometimes she had to be kicked out of her job and in the night, and she was she was sick, but she came over everything. So when you hear her saying that she wants you guys to have a better life, how does that make you feel?
I am very happy, like very, very happy that she got past that stage, because now my mom is working, she's working in a permanent job, so she is able to provide for her family, and we are able to go to school for education. So in the future we would be the one, like the breadwinners, we would get jobs that we want, and we'll be the breadwinners and help in providing food and stuff, yeah, for our parents when they are not working anymore. So I am
Wow.
very grateful to have my mom and my dad and all the support that they have given us. My sister is already done with matric. All she has to do is go to university, and when she's done, she could find a job and earn some money and also help my parents. Then my second sister follows. She's in grade 10. I'm in grade 7 next year. I'm going to high school. Tepang is in grade 5 next year. She's going to grade 6. So we keep on going higher and higher, and the more we get education to the level that we are able to find our own jobs, is the more we are able to help our parents in providing. And yeah.
Young lady, where is that coming from? Where is that speech coming from? You kids, you never stop to wow me. Seriously. Each time I think that I know what you will say, you just go higher and higher and you just go get it. And you just, I'm so proud of you girls. Seriously, I am. Sepam, what is it like you like to add to what your sister just said?
I'm very, very happy that I'm very happy because at the end we can eat, we have a place to live in, we go to school, we're educated, we get everything we want. And I'm very happy my mom that she's now joining us. And we are a very big happy family.
Wow. Wow. So let me go back to the author. So Grace, now you listen to your children speak to you in this space from the space of the fact that you're an author, right? Have you had this kind of conversations before And what does it? How does it make you feel when you hear your children? You know, you being an author starts up this kind of conversation where you get to hear more about what the kids think about you and how they're grateful for you.
I'm very happy to hear that. And you know, in this family, we have that competition, a good one to say. But now, a competition is all about writing books. So now they're telling me, Mama, you are still behind us because remember now we are award-winning authors. But I'm telling them that my time is coming. I'm following up. So that is a good competition.
Oh, this is
So I
this is
wonder when I also win the award one day, what will happen now? Because now I will be on the same level with them.
so kids. What
But
is it that
I
you?
told them that the other thing is that you girls are now relaxing. I can see that I will have another book before you did, and happily so. Now I am co-authoring the 4 books with the ladies. So it means I'm now a step ahead of them. Even though they are award winning, but they only have 1 book, and I will be owning two or I mean 4 books. Five books actually.
I love this competition. I just so girls, what is it that you're going to do from now going forward in order to always be in the lead? You know, so that mom she has already caught you. What is it that you're going to do to always be one step ahead of her?
We're gonna make sure, very sure, very sure that we do one thing that we will be ahead of her and she will still be behind. But yeah, I want her to catch up.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So, Molatela, you're listening to this competition here. I mean, this is family for you. Uh, you see the conversation we get into when we get into writing, right? So, if you're just playing the role of a mom, you're taking them to school, you're providing, and all of that, I think you have a different kind of conversation. Now, you are in the space of writing, and do you think the conversation has changed? And do you think it changes to the best?
Yeah, I think with my daughter as the author, I think the conversations are have changed. One thing that we share with my daughter is the love for reading. So I think she took it a step further to write. But I journal, I write for work. She reads a whole lot of books, and I read a whole lot. So we talk about the books that we have read. We don't read like, say, similar authors, but we read and we will compete to say, I don't like small books. She used to like reading small books, but nowadays she buys big books, and then she like, I read this one in 5 days. How long are you taking time to read yours? So if, with writing as well, I think she's ahead of me and I am trailing behind, but she's encouraging, or Mom, you can do this. You can do this. You can write. So I am slowly getting into the writing space. And one day, I guess, I will be like Grace and the daughters, where we are saying who is award winning and who's not. So yeah, it's a great space to be in. It's a conversation starter with your kids. It's the common ground that you find, and then you can
Ooh.
discuss something that you have in common with them. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow, wow. So, Grace, we are having this powerful conversation here. Again, we are streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You all out there are invited to join the conversation. This is what happens when moms and daughters get to talk. Writing could be one of those door openers or windows opener into a kind of conversation that you probably may not have with your children. and it is so important that we get to know each other through, through writing or through a form of expression, any form of expression that we find. Let's go back to the crazy journey to success. Grace, what will you say are the you learned about yourself and about life when you had to take that journey back to write your book, to write about the story of your life? What feelings did you have there writing that book?
At times it was emotional because when I think of what happened to me, it was really painful. So, but the other thing is that I was happy to can write it down, and bit by bit when I write each and every chapter, it was making me to be held inside. I was having that anger on how I grew up, but now because I've put whatever I went through in writing, I healed. Yeah, that's what I can say.
So the book is available on GloBUNTU Books. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on LinkedIn, and you can find us on the website. All the links are in the description box of the video. So make sure that you follow, get a copy, read about the crazy journey, and be inspired to write about yours, whatever title that is going to be, or however your journey was. So where are the young authors? They're gone. I think they're trying to plan a coup on how to get ahead of their mom, to stay ahead. so, so Grace, what do you want your readers to take away from your book? Someone who picks your book, Crazy Journey to Success. What is it? What is the message? I think we've spoken about it, but we can't talk about it. I think it's something that we can always talk about, because I think each time a new message comes out, what is it that you want young people to take away, and what is it that you want people of your generation to take away from your book?
Okay. The one thing that I can tell my readers to take is, maybe if we can go to chapter 20. It says things I learned from job
Please come to the
hunting.
screen. Your
So
face is, you're halfway in the screen. Please come in fully to the screen. Thank you.
is it
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
I was saying I have chapter 20 in my book where it explains exactly the things that I learned from job hunting. And then also the second chapter is chapter 21, where they can read about how to stay motivated during challenges. And then also I explain my key life lessons while job hunting. That is chapter 22. And then also, actually, let me just say, from chapter 20 to 23, they will learn a lot if they can read there. And I think that is the common things that people can experience. And then the other things is all about my life.
I think it's your
If they
book is
want to
so,
know me more, then they have to read the whole story from chapter 1 until chapter 19. But for chapter 20 to 23, that's where I explain so many things there, which people can grab there and maybe learn more on how they can do whatever the challenges they are going through there.
I think your book is very timely, because the pandemic has changed a whole lot. A lot of people are retrenched. People have lost their jobs and businesses. People have had, all of us have gone through challenges. And in those chapters of your book, you really give people some steps on how to better manage the current challenges that we're going through. So I'm really grateful for that. Mulatelo,
Yes.
you prefaced the book after having read it. So what was your key takeaway from Grace's book when you read through the book?
Oh, there were several. You know, what struck me was that in this journey of life, you don't have to do it alone. There are people that we can walk on this journey with, even if, and some people are in your journey for a particular distance and live, and always others are there we are not walking alone. And I think it is inspired my faith as well. Grace's resilience showed me that, even though things are tough, stick to the path that you have chosen for yourself. And there are always people, when you are ready, when you are on this life journey and you are ready, when opportunity comes, it finds you ready. You're not starting elsewhere. So what Grace went through, and the takeaway for me was that she was walking, she was not static in this life. She was walking, and opportunities found her ready, and stepping together with people that helped her along the journey. It's one thing. So as a people, we don't have to do things alone. We don't have to struggle with anything alone. There are opportunities that comes through other people that we did not even think of, that can push us one step towards the goal that we have set for ourselves. So when opportunity must find you ready, and you don't have to walk the path alone. So that was the biggest takeaway for me from this book, and that resilience to say, even though it's tough, I am staying on this journey. I am staying on this journey, and people will come in and out of your life, some to deliver something for that particular moment, some to take you through to where you want to go. So you don't have to do it alone. Stay on the path and be ready at all times, so that when opportunity comes, you can grab it and use it for your benefit.
Powerful, powerful. Okay, so let me go to, we are coming slowly to the end of the book launch. We're coming towards the end. Mpai and Tsepang, what is something that you've never told your mom? Something that you've never told your mom that you like to tell her right now? Okay, the network is acting.
Okay, Auntie, what kind of thing? Like, what kind of a thing?
Anything that you like to tell your mom. Whatever thing that is on your mind that you've never told your mom that you like to tell her now, that you like to tell her, like her to know.
Happy. I'll tell her about actually my feelings. Yeah, my feelings.
What
Like,
are your feelings?
I'm very happy, and actually, I'm very proud. Very, very proud. I'll actually do anything for her right now. And like, congratulations to her that now she's a GloBUNTU author, a mom, and soon I'm waiting for her award.
Okay. Are you going to do, you said you'll do anything for her. Are you going to do more house chores without complaining now, from now going forward?
Mm-mm.
So,
I'll do anything else but that. Mm-mm.
Mpai, what is it that you would like your mom to know from now going forward that you haven't told her before?
Um, this is what I haven't told my mom because I don't really like talk to her that much. Like, we don't talk a lot. I would like to say that I am very happy that I have been brought into this world by you. Very happy to have this family. It makes me very happy, even though I don't show, but I'm very happy. And I'll also like to say congratulations for becoming a GloBUNTU mom, an author, and I am also waiting for your award so we can have the third one.
Okay. Wow. So, Grace, the author, now you're having a conversation with your children. And what kind of conversation, now that you know that there's a conversation that you could have, even though you're juggling with a lot of things, as an author, we need to talk. We need to tell our story, and we use our story not just to inspire people outside, but also to inspire children. So, what kind of author's conversation that you haven't had before, or what kind of conversation that you haven't had before, are you going to start having with your co-authors now? Now that you're all co-authors, and what is it that you like to tell your kids, that you haven't told them before?
From now on, I think I will just tell them to carry on with what they've already started. The journey of writing, they must not just end here. They must just continue writing, because writing will take them away from streets. I don't like kids who are used to go to street maze, actually. Let me just put it like that. So I think they must just also make it a point that they read their books, they study hard, so that they can be successful in life. That's my wish for my daughters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is typical parents thing. How proud are you of your girls?
I'm very proud of them. I never thought that I will be a mother of award-winning authors till today. And the other thing is that I'm happy because even in my family, I'm now 48, but I'm the first author in the family, in the whole family. So I'm the first author, and I'm proud of these girls because they've been authors uh, at the young age. Imagine a child writing a book at the age of 8 and at the age of 10, whereas I was unable to do so until I am 47 years old. So I'm very proud. I'm a very proud mom. Girls, I'm very proud of you. And I know even the family is proud of you. Even your schools are proud of you.
Mm-hmm. And you don't forget that you are the first GloBUNTU mom author.
Yes, I am. And I'm proud.
Mulatelo is the
And
first.
I remember I said the other day you posted something on the group to say, moms, this is parents, this is your challenge. And I said I will be the first. And I know I even though we had the dad who's also an author, the Chikosi, but I think I was the first to be published. So meaning I'm the first parent.
And you are an inspiration because, see, the moment you started writing, Mulatelo has joined the chorus as well. She's now a
Yes.
co-author. So it's like how do you call it? Like a domino. It has a domino effect that one person starts. So you guys can compete now. The competition is on. Mulatelo is the mom of the first GloBUNTU award-winning young
Yes.
author, and and a co-author. The co-author. You are the first GloBUNTU mom author and a second co-author among the GloBUNTU moms. And
Yes.
you have two award-winning authors in your houses. Chikosi is gonna follow, is following. So we love healthy competitions at GloBUNTU Books, and the competition that makes us grow, right? And that makes us have those conversations that we should be having with our children, with ourselves, and with the environment that we live in. So before we wrap it up, Mulatelo, what will be your last word? What will be your last word?
No, I'm just thankful and I am grateful for what Grace has done. Sometimes you have self doubt that can I really do this? And I think she has showed us that it's possible. So you have paved the way, and we are definitely going to follow. When you were telling me that, I'm writing, I'm here, I was like, I can do this. But whenever I'm faced with the laptop, I'm like stuck. But you have proven that it's possible. even though you have got a busy schedule, you are working, you are a mom, you are the same thing that I am, and still you did it. So it's motivating enough for me to do it. And I believe each and every person has got a story to tell, different from my story, different from your story. And if we can just put it in writing, it will be phenomenal to have each one's story, so that we don't have people telling our own stories. They will be taking our power away. But when you put it yourself, you still hold the narrative, you still hold the power of who you are, what you want people to know about you. So I'm very thankful for that. And most importantly, for GloBUNTU Books to have come into our space, because that was the great motivator. Without us having GloBUNTU Books, we wouldn't have had young authors, we wouldn't be having mom, parent authors and whatnot. So kudos to GloBUNTU and our friend Beatrice Achaleke here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's go to Mpai and Sepang. What is the last thing that you like to say before we close your mom's book launch?
I would like to say please support my mom, buy her book, and I really, really, really hope that she also gets an award.
We heard
And
you.
I'll
Sepang?
say congratulations. I'll say congratulations, mom. I'm also what to you getting your award. And people, please, now I'm begging, please buy her book. You also get you like you're gonna be inspired by her and the journey of hers. Yeah.
So young authors are dancing in front of their moms. It's very typical. Why is she not in the limelight? Come show your face. So,
She's hiding. She's standing behind the laptop and confusing me.
so we will get her in the next time. So you have to be in front of the laptop. Let me go to Grace. Grace, this is your book launch, and we're all here to celebrate you, to honor you, to show you how much we appreciate your courage and your determination and your serenity and the resilience to always carry forward no matter what. So, and you've had this beautiful conversation. What is your last word? What is it that you want to tell anyone out there, your readers, yourself, your children, your studio guests, before we close the book launch?
Okay, firstly, I would like to thank you for believing in me and mentoring me through this journey. I know it was not easy, but through your help, I conquered. I remember when I started, I just wrote some few pages on paper. Then you turned it back to say, Mom, you have not yet started. So what do you think the book will how big will the book be? Because if you're going to type this, it is only going to be 5 pages, so you have not yet started. Just go back and write. This is not writing. And I also thank you because through your classes, your YouTube classes, I managed to write the book. I've learned a lot there. And then another thing is that I would like to thank you, Mulatelo. I know I invited you last minute because my family turned me down last hours, and you never said no, it's late for me. And also thanking you to preface my book. And then to my little ones, thank you so much. And also, Maratelo, can you please tell Chego that she's also one of those. The 3 girls, they are the ones who motivated me to come up with my own book. So I'm now a proud author of the book, My Crazy Journey, because of them. So tell my girl to say, I say thank you very much. I really appreciate them. I don't know what to say. I'm over the moon. I'm very much happy. And then to my readers, or to people out there, please buy the book. You will not regret, because there is a lot to learn from the book. And to the GloBUNTU family, thank you very much for the support.
Thank you. Thank you all for trusting me with yourselves and with your kids. It takes a lot of courage to trust someone. And I think I've experienced a level of trust in this space that allowed me to do the work that I do. I've been to spaces and I could have done this, but I did not. So it is something that the appreciation is mutual. It's a space that you gave me that allowed me to get us to do the work that we do. So thank you so much. That said, before we close the book launch, I just want to remind people out there is still another classes coming up. We have master classes coming up. If you like what you hear and you want to be part of this family, to express themselves, writing as a form of healing, writing as a form of creating a lifelong legacy, writing as a way, but which we sometimes don't dare to. It is the writing, using writing to let things go, to let people go, to declutter your life, so you can tap into that best version of you, the next best version of you. We are constantly running classes, and we would love to welcome you to our classes. Feel free to join tomorrow's stream, because we will be telling you what it takes to join season 2 of the Letters to series. This could be the stepping stone to your writing career, to you becoming an author. So we look forward to having you tomorrow. That said, we are done with today's book launch, and I want to thank the studio guest. I want to thank the author for her courage, and I want to thank those of you who joined us on social media, whether you were on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. I want to acknowledge you, and please check the links in the description boxes to get the books. You can get a pack of books from the Lekalakala family. You can, from the two girls, My Happy Life, Princess of the DRC, and My Crazy Journey to Success. You can get the Shikwane books, and there are a lot of books in there that you can check. And of course, the Letters to series, book 1, is out and ready for you to read. So I'll see you tomorrow in the studio. Until then, stay safe with your families and have fun. And girls, you have a wonderful one. Bola Taylor, you have a good one. And give our first award-winning young author a big fat hug. And the girls next door, I'm sending one to you. You are a true blessing. So you stay safe and have a restful evening. I'll see you tomorrow in the studio. Goodbye.